All right, everybody, I am back with my second DC update of the day. There have been a few big announcements made today that are some definitive things and some things that could be considered, you know, somewhat spoilerish and also rumor. And I'm going to address something here real quickly. I am done responding to the people in the comments who make ignorant comments. I have too many people coming in saying, show your sources. Like earlier, I mentioned that the budget was $330 million on The Flash, not the amount that Variety said in an effort to make the studio look better. And I verified this. I don't have to show you guys everything. If something is going to be rumor, I'm going to tell you it's rumor. If I give you information like I did earlier, you could pretty much assume it's real. But you know what? Anybody can go right now to Google and type in The Flash, 330 million budget, and you'll find those same reports. Okay? So it's that simple. I'm not going to do all the homework for you. You can call me whatever you want. I don't care. I'm not going to respond to those ignorant comments anymore. I'm here to give you guys as much information as quickly as I can without wasting your time, and I don't need to show every little thing. I mean, do you want me to show you how babies are made too? Just because people are here, do you want me to show you how the process and how that's done? It's just ignorant, okay? Everybody could do their own homework. It's that simple. So some of the stuff, like I said, I'm about to go through is going to be fact. Some is going to be rumor, as always. So let's look at the pictures that I've grabbed since I did my video earlier. So this is one of the big things that I wanted to talk about. So this comes from My Time to Shine. Hello. And it says Andy Muschietti to direct and Christina Hodson to write Brave and the Bold. Now, I have not been able to confirm this, so you can put this in the rumor category, but here are my thoughts on this first of all. Andy Muschietti, can he direct Batman, the Brave and the Bold? And could it be good? Yes. The way he handles Batman in The Flash is really well done. Outside of what Zack Snyder did in the warehouse scene in Batman vs. Superman, the Flash has the second best Batman scene that I have seen. Is it as visceral and as hardcore as what was done in that warehouse scene? No, it's not. But it's better than I've seen Nolan do. It's better than what we were able to get with the Matt Reeves Batman from last year. So, yes, he is capable of pulling this off. But my fear is that he'll make it a comedy. Everyone wants to give a pass to The Flash being a comedy because that's the way the character is. I've read the comic book. There is nowhere near as much humor in the comic book as what they did in the movie. It's like every single scene in The Flash has freaking comedy throughout the whole thing. There was another scene released today that had a bunch of comedy in it when they first meet Batman. And when they first meet him, before they sit down with that conversation, that's goofy as all get out as well. And that's my fear with Muschietti, that he's going to come in and make a comedy and just do a goofy Batman, and he can't. Now, I'm happy to say he did take Batman himself seriously in this film, especially with there's one part of the opening sequence with Ben Affleck that I didn't care for, but everything else was really well done. Some of the action was goofy, and it was very cartoonish at the beginning, especially in that scene where you see Batman sliding across the highway. Right after he jumped off that car, it got really kind of wonky, and that's why you don't see anything past that, because it is very wonky. So is he capable of doing it? Yes. Now, Christina Hodson, on the other hand, she's apparently the one who wrote The Flash, and I will tell you that the Flash script is nothing to write home about. The comic did a much better job of telling the story of Flashpoint and getting the point across of what the movie was supposed to be about than what this film does. She also wrote, apparently, Birds of Prey, which is my bottom-of-the-barrel DC, especially with the story. It is a crap story, literally. It's all about this girl who swallows this key, and whoever gets that key after she poofs it out is going to be the king of Gotham. Like, come on. Seriously. This is childish, just fan fiction crap. I do not want her writing the Batman, the Brave and the Bold when it comes to Damian Wayne. I would be more interested in them getting someone who is familiar with these characters, than someone who is familiar with writing a Hollywood script. I want it to be true to those characters because I will tell you, Damian Wayne is no slouch in the comics. He's a pretty badass dude, and I want to see that on the screen. I don't want to see them goof this whole thing up. So I do have some fears about this, but he is capable of doing it. Now, here's something that's very interesting. It looks like they're going to be doing one premiere, one showing. The Flash will only have one premiere because of its big secret ending. And I'm going to talk about this big secret ending here in a few minutes, which I think is ridiculous. But we're going to talk about that here in a few minutes, and I'll put that in the spoiler but rumor category when I get to it. But it says DC is opting to hold just one premiere for The Flash days before it hits theaters. I'm done with everything that I've heard at this stage. I don't think any more can come out that is going to change, drastically what is happening on the screen. Some people are hoping that Henry Cavill is still Superman, which I don't think is going to happen, that he's supposedly going to come at the end. I don't think that is going to be the case. I will tell you what I think it is here in just a few minutes. Now, this just got released a little while ago, too. This is Conrad Carapax, the villain in Blue Beetle. So I don't think we got a look at him in the trailer. I don't know who this character is. I'm familiar with Blue Beetle. I've read a few comics with him in it a few years ago when they did the New 52. I got a little familiar with the character, but I'm not familiar with this particular character at all in any way, shape, or form. So before I talk about the Flash ending, this is the last thing I wanted to look at. Now, I am looking forward to this. I think the art is a little too childish, in my opinion, which is interesting that this is going to be on Adult Swim. And it's going to be the next day on the Max app. But it says, Bird, plane, nah. It's My Adventures with Superman. Watch the 2-episode premiere July 6th at midnight on Adult Swim. Next day on Stream on Max. All right, so they did have a little clip there. Like I said, the art is a little cartoonish. I do like how clean it looks, though, but it is a little cartoonish. I'm not a real big fan of the S, but we'll see what happens when it actually gets released. I will do a review on that cartoon when it actually comes out. All right, so here's the last thing, and this was reported by GeekOxityMag.com. DC Hero is blurred in Flash's secret ending. DC fans who wonder what the blurred secret ending in The Flash is hiding will now know in this spoiler-filled leak. So I'm going to talk about this. Let me go back to my camera, and we'll discuss this. So if you don't want to know anything about The Flash, now is when you want to log off. All right, so you have had your fair warning that if you don't want to know any secrets about The Flash, you don't want to know anything about the ending, now is the time to log off. All right, so at the ending, I talked about this in one of my videos, that the Flash comes out of the courthouse. Bruce Wayne is pulling up and gets out of the car. You don't see him because he's surrounded by a bunch of people. And he says, "Who the F is that?" That's how the movie ended. Apparently, you actually get to see that Bruce Wayne in this version of the movie, and it ends up being none other than George Clooney. These are the rumors. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but supposedly it is George Clooney, which raises some questions because first of all, he said he'd never come back. Now, we're not seeing him as Batman. He's there as Bruce Wayne. Now, that could be the case, but then the Flash is obviously in an alternate timeline, so how are we going to get the Brave and the Bold Batman unless it's going to be George Clooney, which I certainly don't want him back as Batman. So, again, I think they're just doing this to show that there are different worlds, different strands out there, and that Barry can go to any of them. But again, with the way this ends, I think it would be kind of dickish if he didn't decide to go back to his original timeline with the people that he fought with and the people that he knew, and he stays in this alternate timeline. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Now, that does tie into the fact that they already have the script for The Flash 2 written, which they could fast track and start filming and have in theaters before Superman Legacy comes out, and that movie could set up more of the Gunn's universe. So, supposedly, this George Clooney cameo was Gunn's idea. Of course it was. That's all I'm going to say about that. All right, so there's my second update for the day. I do appreciate the support. I will be bringing you all the news as it gets released. I do appreciate it. We will see you on the next video.